Hello, I'm Richard Jack Smith of Real Talk Movie Reviews. A huge compliment must be paid to composer Michael Giacchino, for The Batman comes across as one of his most ambitious efforts to date. I have a lot of admiration for Giacchino. I've enjoyed many of his scores in the past, including Secret Weapons over Normandy, Up, Ratatouille, John Carter, and especially Jupiter Ascending. The latter was nominated by myself as one of the best movie scores of the decade, 2010 to 2019. With The Batman, he's covering charted territory as opposed to uncharted territory. For many composers have tackled this character in the past, from Nelson Riddle on the Adam West Batman to Danny Elfman on the two Tim Burton movies. We had the animated series, which was scored by Shirley Walker and her co-composers. Elliot Goldenthal took a crack at it with two films, Batman Forever and Batman Robin. There are many others, Hans Zimmer, James Newton Howard on the Dark Knight trilogy, even Christopher Drake on the Batman The Dark Knight Returns, and more recently we had Frederick Wiedmann's work on Batman Gotham by Gaslight. I didn't like the film, but his work was exceptional. So there's a lot to unpack here, and it's difficult to judge Giacchino's The Batman without any bias towards other efforts that have come in the past. And this is where it kind of falls down a little bit for the theme, and a lot has been made of those four notes, da 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 da, and we hear that a lot throughout the score, but it's not a strong theme. Why? Because better four-note themes exist. Think of Tara's theme from Max Steiner's Gone with the Wind. Da 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 da. It has class, intelligence and emotion. And in fact at first I was quite removed from the Batman, at least emotionally. So it was difficult for the music to stir my soul or get me into its more deep-rooted feelings of apathy and disillusion. And there's a lot of darkness in this effort. Now it's not all doom and gloom. For the action material, especially in tracks such as Highway to the Anger Zone and A Bat in the Rafters Part 1 and 2 are exceptional. Gargantuan examples of battle music done well. I got completely caught up in it. It's creative, fantastic. Now there are other areas that aren't quite as accomplished. Catwoman's theme, it immediately brings to mind John Barry's work, especially things like Body Heat. But also if you think of The Specialist, May Dances with Tomas, which I consider the quintessential romantic track of the 1990s, and probably of all time really. It's a fantastic piece. So when listening to Catwoman's theme, and it's got a kind of slithery, I guess seductive quality to it, kind of film noir, but it just doesn't quite land in the way I think some people are saying it does. But hey, we're all different, we all come from different backgrounds. It's fine, you like it, that's fine. Didn't do it for me. Riddler's theme was all over the place, a little bit like Howard Shore's Seven, and the less said about that the better. And indeed the Riddler in the film is a character that has close ties to, you know, Seven and things like Joker in the Todd Phillips film, rubbish that was. So there was a lot to unpack from this near 2-hour experience. Clearly an hour of music is not enough these days. They have to give us multiple versions and elongated experiences. Hans Zimmer with Dune did this. He's bringing out 3 versions of his music, the sketchbook, this version, that version, you know, a little bit self-indulgent. But the thing is, the Batman isn't self-indulgent, at least not for prolonged periods. There are moments of beauty. Funeral and Far Between was gorgeous, but the pleasantry only lasts for a couple of minutes. Then we have to wait until much later for All's Well That Ends Farewell, and that hit the sweet spot just right. There's a lot of comparisons to be made to Batman scores of the past, both for television and film. I think Giacchino's trying to do his own thing here. His 4-note theme is used in various permutations, and it's interesting. I think though, when it comes to Giacchino, there are times where he adapts his theme very well. If you think of Star Trek Into Darkness, for example, it took that unremarkable Star Trek theme from the first film and put it into the action music, and suddenly it was transformed. It was different. He does a little bit of that with the Batman theme throughout this effort, but it's not quite as resonant. Mark Feeney, a film critic for the Boston Globe, described Giacchino's score as uninspired. It's true there's no heroism, hence the uninspired comment gains traction. What I found difficult to relate to about Giacchino's The Batman theme is it tends to take 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, repeats the process and hopes that we won't notice. Unfortunately, this forward-reverse repetition harms the theme in that it doesn't build into anything much more than its self-contained, hypnotised ideas. Overall, there are areas where the score is strong, there are areas where it's weak. The Great Pumpkin Pie and Hoarding School pass by with nary a whisper. The Catwoman theme isn't great. A composer's reach should always exceed their grasp, and while he doesn't quite hit the notes, hit the sweet areas that he could with this effort, I think he's to be commended. Now, it won't be everybody's cobblepot, but there's skill and creativity in the Batman, and for that reason I give the score 3 out of 5 stars. For more film and soundtrack reviews, please visit Betty Jo Tucker's website, Real Talk Movie Reviews. On Facebook you can find my pages, Hip-Notic Movie Reviews and Hip-Notic Soundtrack Reviews. I am Richard Jack Smith, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.